When this morning's guest started his art career, his landscape was a battlefield. His art has changed, and so has its purpose. Who is he? You'll meet him coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Conference Center on the Grand Strand campus of Horry Georgetown Technical College. We're focused on the art of fundraising. And we're visiting with Vic Gillespie, an amazing artist and local community servant. Good morning,
Hello,
Vic.
good to see you, Greg.
And happy Thanksgiving week.
Yes.
We're kicking off the week here,
Turkey
obviously,
week.
at Tech. And,
right.
you know, they're setting up for a big breakfast here this morning. It's a great way to kick it off. They were kind enough to let us in before the breakfast begins. They're going to be getting that rolling, and thank you for coming in.
Maybe we can stay and eat.
That's right. We can crash.
Right, we can crash this thing.
We've got these beautiful pieces of art here, not only on the table, of course, this one, the proceeds donated to the Nazareth Children's Home.
Yes.
We want to talk about that, but some of these beautiful pieces, they're almost surreal. They're so special. I mean, they're just amazing.
Well, it's fun to do, and I've been doing it so long that it's just it's brought a lot of joy to my life, and now we get the chance to give some of it back, and that brings even more joy. So I've been blessed in a lot of ways with that. So I look at art as a means to grow myself and to help other people, and it's a wonderful thing.
That's wonderful. How long have you been painting, Vic?
I've been painting professionally for 38 years. 38
years.
And it's taken me all over. We've sold paintings all over the world, and it's I met so many nice people, and doing that, that's how we got into the charity end. Back about 25 or 30 years ago, we started doing it, and we found out it's such a need in so many places. So many people don't live as fortunate as we do.
Right.
And it gives me a chance as an artist through the generosity of other people. I do the paintings, and then through the generosity of other people, with those buying these prints and
right.
that money going back to help people, it gives me a chance. But I always tell folks, it's not me, it's the people that are nice enough to bring the money out and say, I'll take money out of my pocket and make this happen. So
I was reading a little piece from the Salisbury Shag Club where someone up there was pushing other shag clubs around the Carolinas, possibly the Southeast, or around the country, to go ahead and try to sell at least 10 prints of a piece to really help support an amazing local charity.
Is that what, if each of them sold 10, it would sell it out, and it would make $100,000 for the Nazareth Children's Home.
$100,000 for the Nazareth Children's Home?
Right, and that would be, that's what we're shooting for, and we feel like we can do that in the next 3 or 4 months.
So how many shag clubs are there?
There's about 100 shag clubs, and then there's several other organizations that's involved in shagging.
Right.
But
so each group would need to sell 10 or $100 each?
If they sold 10 or $100
that
each.
Is a laydown.
The nice thing is, you can go to these folks and it gives you a chance to go to the shag clubs and dance and have a good time and help the kids at the same time. So it's really a fun thing. It should be against the law to be able to do those kind of things.
Listen to you. Are you originally from the area, Vic?
No, I grew up in Alamance County, up in North Carolina.
Oh, great. For our viewers in Robinson and Scotland and Columbus and Brunswick County, right. They're familiar with Alamance. Probably some of our PD and Grand Strand viewers are familiar with Alamance County.
I've never lived out of North Carolina except for, I'm living here now in Little River, and I lived up in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. But North Carolina's been good to me. Yeah. And I think South Carolina's going to be good to me, too.
Is that a... North Carolina's been good to me? That sounds like a song I've heard before.
We did Andy Griffith and myself did a series of commercials for North Carolina.
Wait, real quick, did you just say Andy Griffith?
Yes.
You and Andy Griffith did a series of commercials?
For the state of North Carolina called I Like Calling North Carolina Home.
Right.
And we had Loomis McGlohon, the late Loomis McGlohon from Charlotte, to come in and do the music, and that really gave me a chance to get all over North Carolina and see so many beautiful places and paint them, and I came away with a new appreciation for the beauty of the state.
Right.
And we're blessed to live in a beautiful country.
I think a lot of viewers are probably wondering right now, how did this guy get hooked up with Andy Griffith? What happened there?
I lived on Roanoke Island, and Andy had a house on Roanoke Island. We was next door neighbors.
Right.
And when we thought about doing this thing for North Carolina through the Association of Broadcasters, then they asked me to go ask Andy if he would do the voiceovers and come in and talk about the state. And
right.
he was gracious. He's done so much for North Carolina.
Oh yeah.
And
oh yeah.
But that was a fun thing. That was a fun thing. Like I say, I've been a lot of places.
Yeah.
But the Carolinas, North Carolina, South Carolina, is hard to beat.
Yes, yes.
It's hard to beat.
You still have family in Alamance County, though?
Yes, my mother still lives there.
Great. Yeah.
And I got a mother and a sister lives there.
You'll probably be head up there for Thanksgiving.
Going there for Thanksgiving.
Heading up on Thursday. That is wonderful.
Right. Matter of fact, being a pretty young lady that's allows me to spend time with her, we going up and have dinner with my mother.
Let's hear about this pretty young lady. My Lord. Yeah. Is this someone there in Little River?
Yes.
Right.
School teacher.
She's a school teacher. Good. That's a great way to communicate.
Kind of frightening sometimes because she's so much smarter than I am. But other than that, it's a fun thing.
We had a longtime school teacher on last Thursday, the Honorable Crane E. Woods, who'd been in Horry County education since '62, and he'd retired a few years ago. He's from Due West, South Carolina, and hearing him talk about communicating with students and the ability to bond with students back in the '60s, when oftentimes students who may have been neglected would want to move in with him and his wife Julia. Your significant other there's probably found that same bond over time with students who really turn to their teachers as a figure in their lives.
But I think sometimes we forget how much teachers do. We pay them way too little money for all the things they do for the people of this state.
Right.
And but education is important.
Yes. Yeah.
We try to work with education how we can, and you think about Thanksgiving, and if everybody that's going to eat Thanksgiving dinner would say, each adult would say, let me give $10. Look for the pile of money you could have to go out and do things.
Right.
To help education, to help people that's not
right.
having anything to eat today, or a youngster that needs help going here and there. And this charity thing is
yeah. Education is so vital. Absolutely.
Right. It's our turn. We need to work hard toward making sure they get what they need and can go where they need.
We want to talk obviously more about education and charities, but if a viewer needs to get off to work now or get family off to school, what's the best way for someone to reach you, to hear about some of these amazing nonprofit groups that you're helping to support through the sales of your art, or just to learn about you in particular if they need to get out of the house now? What's the best way to reach you?
They can reach me at 843
right.
281 8115.
Okay, 843-281-8115. And obviously, if they called you now, I mean, surely you're not there, but if they called, could they leave a message there?
Yes, we got a message, and look forward to talking to anybody who wants to talk about it.
Great, great.
There's so much to do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I saw it one time. Vic, share with viewers about your painting in Vietnam. Wasn't there an instance, I read on a website, maybe the Collector's Corner, the Art Gallery and Custom Framing website up in Brunswick County, about you actually painting in the jungles of Vietnam?
Well, actually,
it wasn't in the jungles, but in Vietnam.
I was in the infantry, the 1st Infantry Division, and when we came in from the jungle, he always was trying to figure a way to get out of doing the details like guarding the perimeter and this kind of stuff, so I started painting scenes.
You may not want to admit that on air here.
No,
but, yeah.
Doesn't sound
I didn't
good.
want to guard the perimeter, so I painted. Yeah.
Well, this gave you an opportunity to do some things from the United States that the people there could enjoy.
Right.
And that's actually where the art thing started. I came back from Vietnam and went to school to be a commercial artist. And by the time I got out of school, I was selling too much art to justify never went to work.
Wow.
And since then, it's been amazing. It's really been amazing. But Vietnam started it.
Vietnam started your
art career, yeah.
Art career.
Deciding to go and do that.
I don't know if I've ever heard that phrase. Vietnam started it.
It didn't start many things.
When you think about it,
right.
Vietnam started it. Really started your art career.
Right.
That's special. I mean, that's special to think about the impact, because so often there's negative impressions or negative thoughts associated with the time of our folks serving there, and obviously with Veterans Day having occurred just a couple weeks ago, to think about the impact the veterans have had. But for you, it helped to jumpstart your art career.
Right, really did. And the wall was here last week, and it makes you realize too how blessed you are not to be on that wall.
Oh yeah,
and a lot of good people.
Well, I got to say a quick plug for the Myrtle Beach Herald. Obviously, the paper that's in newsstands today. A real opportunity to focus on a trip that Tom O'Dare, our editor, made with a group of about 130 veterans up to the nation's capital to view the World War II memorial there. Very special experience for him, both in his column, our editorial highlighted, and then a whole page of amazing pictures dedicated to that. So I want to encourage viewers when we're talking about veterans, please pick up a copy of this week's Herald. Obviously, the one coming out on Thanksgiving will be entirely different, but last week's issue is powerful, to say the least. Powerful, to say the least. Much like much of your amazing art here, share with viewers what it's like for you. Like this piece right behind us here. How long would something like that take, Vic? And is this actually what you see in your mind's eye, or do you take a picture of something and then paint it from that?
That's a made-up thing.
That's all out of your head.
It takes about 2 months with the drawings and to get them everything like you want it. But living at the beach, you have a lot of friends all of a sudden.
And a lot of friends.
Right.
Yeah.
And they'll come down, and they'll invariably go out on the beach and they collect shells.
Yes.
And they say, well, I'm going to take these shells back home. They put them in these little piles.
Right.
And then when they get ready to leave, in the rush of leaving, they leave them. So
they leave them there.
That's the name of the painting, Forgotten Memories.
Forgotten Memories.
Yes,
that's a great name. Yeah, and then coming up with the names themselves is a big deal.
Well,
oftentimes, is that out of your head? Do you have any help there?
I think I try to think in terms of what are you trying to communicate, and each painting should tell a story somehow.
Right.
That you do, and that's why, like I say, with the Forgotten Memories things. That's we've got the gaillardias, the wild beach gaillardias, and the pennywort, and then the shells that are from the area, and then the gulls back through the
right
fence.
Up there. I don't know if viewers can see those very well. It's kind of difficult there. You said the gaillardias?
Gaillardias, yeah, the wild gaillardias that grow on the beach.
I need to come to a painting class or something.
Painting's much fun.
Is it cathartic for you? That's fine. Yeah,
it's great. You can go
cleansing.
And there's so much. Sometimes I hear artists say, "Well, I don't know what I'm going to paint. I could paint for the next 100 years and never make a dent in what I want to paint." And it's so much out there, and there's so much that you want to do.
We had a guest with us a couple of weeks ago. We were filming a collector's cafe and art gallery. We had a gentleman in from Durham, North Carolina. He'd driven down the night before to be on the show that week, and it was fascinating. He owns a studio in Durham, the Shaw School and Studio, and they are dedicated to finger painting, an art that was created by a woman from Duplin County, born in 1888, Ruth Faison Shaw, who, of course, has turned that into a therapeutic form for psychiatric patients and otherwise. Finger painting was fascinating, much like you said, oftentimes here, where it's coming out of your mind. She would often start a piece and have no idea where it was going with her fingers or with her elbows or with her body, and it would go, and she'd have a creation there at the end, but not knowing. Does that ever happen to you, Vic, that you'd start a piece, or do you need to see something in your head before you begin?
Well, I think in the beginning, I do little drawings of everything.
Really? Yeah.
Little thumbnail things, so big, and you start putting them together until you get the final image in your mind. And, when I first started painting, you just paint. Now, it's a lot of thought that goes into the end result.
Yeah.
But the thought process is probably the most fun of the painting. After you get all that done, it's just kind of like paint by numbers, filling the spots in. But it's every artist has a different process.
Yeah.
And this area is blessed with so many good artists.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Let's talk about some of the amazing, we've got about 10 minutes, Vic. Let's talk about some of the amazing nonprofit groups that your art has helped support. I think I saw a litany of group after group, whether it's the hospice, the Shriners, the Masons, the American Heart Association, obviously the Boy Scouts of America. Lots of groups that turn to you oftentimes, or who you said folks have bought prints and then donated to those groups so that they could auction them off or otherwise to raise funds. How does that normally work, and is it the 281-8115 number the best number, the 843-281-8115 if someone wants to get in touch with you?
Yes, right now it is, because we're just putting together a new business that's going to deal strictly in this.
Oh, a business to help nonprofits.
Right, we're going to go out and actually look for areas that have needs and see how we can fit my art into those needs, and we won't do it on a national level. It's exciting. We've been at it now for about a month and a half, and this is the first product.
Yeah, let me hold that up for viewers so they can see. That is the all proceeds donated to the Nazareth Children's Home. Please support our children.
Right, that's the
Share
first
with
of them.
viewers, what is the Nazareth Children's
It's
Home?
a home that helps children up in Salisbury, and
it's in Salisbury. Great, good.
And they're doing a lot of good things, and we're just excited to be able to work with them, and the fun part starts now. We've got the prints in hand, we've got them out, and they're starting to sell, and like I say, some of the shag clubs are getting into it, and
there's is it 100 print or 1,000
prints?
1,000 prints. They're selling for $100 each.
a piece.
So if a viewer wanted to go online and view some of the shag clubs, the Salisbury Shag Club, or they just check out a shag club, and if their shag club doesn't have these prints, they can call you at the 843-281-8115 number to make sure that they're connected with somebody who could help track it.
Or the Nazareth Children's Home, they can call, and Vernon walk up there. Walters will get them lined up with what they need to do.
Great, good.
But we want to do from small organizations to big organizations, and all different kinds of things that we can sit down with and say, well, let's do this and let's do that, and let's take it this way and let's take it that way. And there's so much need out there that, and you know that from your work with the Heart Association, all different kinds of things.
Sure.
It's just, you just got to sit down and say, I'm going to do this, and I believe in what I'm doing. And you got to want to help people. And
has there ever been a group like the one you're talking about that you're proposing launching, that's about to launch there? I've never heard of a group totally dedicated to nonprofits where you'll create art for those nonprofit groups to sell.
I don't know if it ever happened before, but my partner Nick was talking the other day that I can't possibly do all that we can come up with. So we're hoping we can bring in other artists and bring artists from all over in to get different projects going, where we can have 5 and 6 different projects going at a time.
That is a great idea. So for viewers right now who are artists that are watching the show, they can call you at the 843-281-8115 number to talk about even donating some of their art or their talents. You may even have a studio there.
Right, we're hoping within 6 months to have a gallery space in Myrtle Beach or North Myrtle Beach somewhere.
Right.
And from there we can operate out of there.
Conway has some tremendous artists right there in the heart of Conway.
I want to doing a wonderful job up there.
They are. Bill Strydeski and his
the hard worker that guy is.
You know Bill.
Yeah, he's a wonderful guy, yeah.
He is crackerjack. I was with him just last week there in Conway and saw the Gifu, his fascinating art gallery, and then all that stuff right there in the heart of town.
Oh, glass blowers.
The glass, amazing folks there. A magnificent space that the city of Conway is wrapped around, that Main Street USA is wrapped around, and they are really making a difference.
Well, I think that if you look at that little town and what they've done, and then with the new Arts Council this year, trying to grow the area, this area is got a lot of opportunity in the arts and for artists, and that's a good thing, because you have so much talent here that it's just everywhere, and we're just hoping that we can make inroads into a lot of different kinds of things, and work with education, and work with charitable causes, and work with all different kinds of things that we can take what we do into and grow it, and like I say, it's from the generosity of the people with art. For me to go donate a painting, you can't make very much.
Right.
But if you donate 1,000 prints,
Right.
and 1,000 people spends $100, then from their generosity, what we do can help so many people, and it's a holding hands kind of thing. Everybody's working to make the thing work.
Now, you've been up to the Nazareth Children's Home.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
I've never even met, didn't know any of them until
You're kidding.
a
They
couple months
came to
ago.
you with this idea.
Well, Nick Nichols and I sat down, and he was talking about this thing and said, they needed to do some things. So we sat down and talked about what we could do, and then we approached them. And like I say, I hadn't had an opportunity. I'm looking forward to meeting them. I can't wait to get up there. And, but I'm looking forward to is going up there with their meeting and giving them a check for $100,000. That's what I want to do.
Listen to that.
That's going to be. That's
making money so you can give it away. I've heard that recently. Someone shared that with me on the telephone the last week.
But I'm blessed in life, as you are, and so many of us. And we need to give back what we can, however we can. And I think we have a responsibility as human beings to do that.
Just last week, the group, the Association of Fundraising Professionals for Nonprofit Groups, was here at the conference center at Horry Georgetown Tech last Thursday for a special luncheon to honor many of the folks just like yourself, Vic, who are working so hard to really give back. And this was a very special place, this conference center Horry Georgetown Tech has, to help recognize many of the folks who do give back. And I think you've set up a vehicle there that could be one of a kind nationwide.
I wish I could have met him. But it's a joy in life to be able to do so many things. And like I say, how can we go wrong? We live at the beach.
Right.
We have more fun than we should have, and
you're a shagger yourself, Vic.
Yes, not much of one,
are
but
you
I'm
good?
a shagger.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm not much of one.
Your significant other here, she's a good shagger.
She's a good. Makes me look good.
Yeah,
makes me
good
look
answer.
good.
That's right. And women can do that.
They can, yeah.
Help their guys look well.
Just standing beside you sometimes.
That's great. Well, obviously this breakfast is getting ready to kick off. We just got a couple of minutes, but did you ever get to keep any of those paintings you did there in Vietnam? Was that 38 years ago, or was it even further ago?
Back in 1967, 68.
Is that right?
No, I expect they got
obliterated.
Yeah, obliterated with after the Americans left there. But it gave me an opportunity to come back, and I knew then that I wanted to do something more with my life, and commercial art couldn't do it.
Right.
Like I say, it's taken me a lot of places, and I've saw so much of this country, and met so many nice people, and this art has given me an opportunity to do that. And there's so much. I think I'm gonna run out of life before I run out of things I want to do.
Vic, now, do you want nonprofit groups? What's the best thing that a viewer could do to help kick off this group, to help support your group? Should they send artists your way? Should they have nonprofit groups contact you?
Well, what we're doing is we're looking at specific areas, and then we'll approach them and tell them what we'll do, and what we can do for them, and then we sit down and set the package up to go and do it. And like I say, it's a fledgling thing. It's new, and I don't know if anybody's ever done this kind of thing.
Oh yeah, never heard of it. So you really need folks just to pick up the phone and dial 843-281-8115. If there anyone calls today, tomorrow, or next month, they can call any time.
Right.
They may have some good ideas of ways to structure it. Groups like the group that was here last Thursday, the Association of Fundraising Professionals, the SCAMPO up there in Columbia, the South Carolina Association of that helps nonprofit groups, nonprofit organization. They may be a great resource. Has there been any one person in particular, Vic, that has really made an impact on you and your professional career as a painter?
Well, I know when I first started painting, several of the ladies up in Burleson that were artists and were fortunate to be rich, they like Miss Hazel Sellers and the ladies in the garden club and that kind of stuff, they took an interest in what I was doing, and they bought them, made me have the opportunity to continue painting because they bought what I done, and they didn't need them, but they bought them it's come a long way since then,
Right.
and the pain has come a long ways. But when you look back, it's so many people that help you in so many different ways that you really can't put a finger on. You know, it's just
On
too
any
many
one
people
person.
that
Absolutely.
help you.
Thanks so much for being with us this
Right.
morning. Vic.
Appreciate
I'm
your
sorry
time.
we've run out of time.
Wish we had more
Absolutely.
time.
Yes. We'll catch up real soon.
Right.
Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Vic Gillespie coming up next. You heard him say it. What special words, those 3 words, Vietnam started it. Vietnam started it all, his entire artistic career. Obviously, it sprung forth at a much earlier age, even well before Vietnam. The creative juices were flowing. He just took it out there in the jungles of Vietnam. Even as you hear him talk about Hazel Sellers and special names like that have impacted his life. The Garden Club there in Alamance County, North Carolina, and the impact it's had. And all these tremendous groups like the Nazareth Children's Home that'll benefit from his nonprofit push here in supporting area charities. Take the time to pick up the phone, write this number down, 843-281-8115, 843-281-8115. Beautiful pieces like this, Forgotten Memories right behind us. Vic Gillespie making a difference every day.